Everyone, so a lot of people are worried that they are late to Bitcoin, but the best way to figure out if you're late or early to an asset is to compare it to something else. And the best thing to compare Bitcoin to with regard to how late or early you are to the market is gold. Because essentially Bitcoin is a new form of digital gold that actually works as money. And it's, far superior to gold in all of its properties. So how much is all the gold in the world worth that is, that humans have dug out of the ground that is sitting in safes and bank deposit boxes and vaults and all of that. So all of the what's called above ground gold, which is gold that humans have already mined and already have possession of, all of that gold is worth about $18.3 trillion. 18.3. So all the above ground already discovered gold is worth $18.3 trillion. But all of the Bitcoin in the world at the current price of 86,500, reverse those numbers, 68,500, although I think we'll be at 86 shortly here, but at 68,500, which is where it is right now, all of the Bitcoin that is in existence actually is only worth 1.3 trillion. So that's 18.3 versus 1.3. So Bitcoin would have to increase in value by a factor of 14x, 4 times. That is 1,400%, even for the price of the total Bitcoin to be equal to the price of all the gold. Now, that is a price per Bitcoin of $875,000. So if somebody came to me and said, am I early or am I late? I would say, well, with gold, it's a lot easier to understand if you're early or late because gold's been around 5,000 years. So, the price of gold goes up and down. But at least it's not like people are discovering new things about gold because whatever gold is and whatever it could be, that's relatively well understood after 5,000 years. But Bitcoin is brand new. And so because it's brand new, it's the value of all the Bitcoin is only worth 1/14th of the price of all of the gold. So we've got 14x just to get to the point where Bitcoin is equal to the price of gold. But Bitcoin is actually far superior to gold because unlike gold, Bitcoin actually does work really well as money. It is much more divisible, durable, transportable, authenticatable, and even scarce. Bitcoin is actually significantly more scarce even than gold, as measured by the amount of new gold. There's about 2% new gold dug out of the ground every year, which means about every 36 years, the total amount of gold above the ground doubles. Whether or not the demand doubles, which means even if you're holding gold, there's constantly a 2% dilution of the value of gold because of all the new gold that's being discovered every year. Bitcoin doesn't have that problem. There's a cap supply of 21 million. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin, and therefore you can be guaranteed however much Bitcoin you own, it cannot be diluted, it can't be debased, it can't be made less valuable by mining more. So anyway, that is the quick highlights today. If you're worried about are you late or early, you are still very early. You've got 14x. You've got the price between 68,500 and $875,000, 14 times just to get to parity with gold. And I think Bitcoin will far exceed the value of gold because the monetary properties of Bitcoin are far superior to the monetary properties of gold. And Bitcoin can do everything that gold can do, and gold can only do a tiny fraction of what Bitcoin can do with regard to storing value, transporting value, authenticating value, dividing value. Just as a global monetary system, Bitcoin is just invented for the 21st century rather than thousands of years before Christ, which is when gold started being used as money initially. So in the digital age, Bitcoin is very clearly the winner on monetary properties and the credibility of those monetary properties. And I think that's only a matter of time till that will be reflected in the price. So if you wait, years or decades, you will not be early to Bitcoin anymore, but you are right now, which means you can still buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly wanted below $70,000. And I don't know if today or tomorrow or next week or next month will be the last time you can ever buy Bitcoin below $70,000 a coin. And obviously you can buy a tiny little bit of it. You can buy $1, you can buy $10, 100, 1,000. You can buy a tiny little bit of a Bitcoin on a platform like Coinbase. So because it's infinitely divisible. But anyway, you're still early, but that will not always be the case. So the longer you wait, the more of that upside disappears before you get on the Bitcoin life raft that can save you from inflation and secure your future and all of that. Happy to answer any questions as always. Bitcoin is up, quite a bit in the last week, the last month, the last year. And it feels like the next 12 months, especially, are going to be a very exciting time as the whole world slowly and then suddenly adopts Bitcoin. So, great time to get on board the Bitcoin train. Enjoy the ride, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. Thanks.